How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys Alex and Ryan. There's a lot going on. The hot stove has simmered, and right now there's reports coming out the Yankees saved the number 18 for Yoshinobu Yamamoto over the past year. So they are very interested in him. There's a lot of people coming out saying that the Red Sox are interested, the Dodgers are interested, but he may not like the Red Sox, or the Dodgers may want to go Ohtani and save that money for him, and they may not have another $200 million. That would be $700 million in one offseason, plus they probably need other pieces. It seems like the Yankees have leverage right now. It seems like the Yankees have a chance to go out and get a player of this magnitude, but there are reports saying that the Yankees are going to get two of the three big names that we have been talking about pretty regularly on this podcast, and obviously it's Juan Soto and Yamamoto and Cody Bellinger. So we're going to break down, who the best two are in terms of our perspective. Always happy to hear your perspectives down below, and if you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe as always. We appreciate that love, and definitely going to be a fun next couple of weeks and months as we get through this winter. It's going to be hopefully fruitful for the Yankees and their hopes to build a competent roster that does not fall apart before the midway point, and I am hopeful that they are going to spend big and be aggressive and get some really big names here that can get us back into World Series contention. But Ryan, before we dive into the topic at hand today, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. Obviously when it comes to who should the Yankees sign, who should the Yankees get, that's obviously always going to be the hottest topic of any offseason. There's going to be debates about whether the Yankees should spend money on this player or that player, whether it's a bad decision to spend money on a certain player. It's not even just a matter of should the Yankees go out and get better by X amount. It's, in the case of Cody Bellinger even, I think he's the best example of this in recent memory. A player that, should you even sign him, right? Would it be a bad thing to sign Cody Bellinger? Now, in terms of just evaluating, whether you're going to get better or not, obviously you'd get better with Cody Bellinger versus, I think Estevan Florial is the projected center fielder, right? So that's obviously a clear upgrade, but the question is the upgrade going to fit the dollar amount, right? What you have to pay to get said upgrade. For projections, according to Steamer, Cody Bellinger is projected for a 108 WRC plus. Now, I know that he's also projected for a 2.4 WAR, but I'm not going to put too much stock into that because they project him for negative defensive value, assuming he's going to play as much first base as he did last year. And the Cubs didn't have a first baseman. The Yankees do. So I imagine the Yankees would be signing Bellinger to be, a plus defender in center field. I still would have given him the contract, right? Assuming it's going to be, the Athletic reported, in their predictions, they think that Cody Bellinger is going to be a Yankee, and it's a 7-year, $177 million deal. I'm not giving that to Cody Bellinger, respectfully. I think he's a good player. I'm not touching that money for him. And then the other two players who are available here kind of play a role in that too. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is available. Obviously, the Yankees, as you just mentioned, held out the number 18 for him. I don't think that's because they think by holding out the number that, Brian Cashman thinks that Yamamoto is going to take less money to go to New York for the Yankees, but it's more so a matter of they really, really want him. They want him so much that they're willing to roll out the red carpet for him. And I think that's the important thing here. If you ask me who I'd rather sign, it's not close. It's Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He's 25 years old. He'd be the Yankees' youngest starter, even including Clark Schmidt, even including Michael King. I'm pretty sure he's the same age, if not a little bit younger than Johnny Brito. So that just tells you the guy's super young. The guy is a youthful pitcher, and he's excellent. He just picked up his third straight Pacific League MVP. This was shortly after winning his third straight Cy Moore Award, which if you guys aren't aware, it is the MPB equivalent to the Cy Young. On top of that, Yoshinobu Yamamoto has 3 pitching crowns, has a World Baseball Classic championship, has multiple ERA titles, has an MPB championship, and is a gold medalist. So when it comes to accolades, and of course having a 1.44 ERA over the last 3 seasons, in terms of accolades and performance, hard to find an international free agent in recent memory who's had, just the resume and the pedigree that Yamamoto has had. And, he pitches a ton. He's a bulldog. He pitches deep into games. So that's certainly enticing for the Yankees. The pitch mix is excellent. But of course, Alex, we'd be remiss if we talked about targets and free agents and trades if we didn't mention that Juan Soto is the best fit I've ever seen for the New York Yankees. This is a market that I didn't think was going to be very good. I thought, you'd see Yamamoto and that's basically it. But when you throw Juan Soto into the mix, Alex, the idea of creating a core where you have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, paired with Garrett Cole and Juan Soto paired with Aaron Judge, and, Soto takes over for Judge as Judge gets older, and Yamamoto takes over for Cole as Cole gets older. Is this not exactly what the New York Yankees should be doing? Am I not mistaken to believe that this would not only, 1, make the Yankees significantly better this year, number 2, make the Yankees significantly better in 5 years, and number 3, and Hal, if you're listening to this, probably not, but if you are, if you want to make money, go get a guy in the international market in Yoshinobu Yamamoto and bring more Japanese viewership, and go get Juan Soto, because Alex, I'm a Dominican in New York. I'm telling you, there will not be more buzz surrounding a superstar coming over from a trade for the Yankees than a Dominican superstar like Juan Soto, especially in this market. So you want to make money? You want to be better now? You want to be better long term? It's got to be the Yamamoto offseason, man. That's what it's got to be.
Yamamoto offseason, I am fully on board with that concept. And look, right now, we can all come to the conclusion that I think if we, or not all of us, but I think a good portion of the fan base is thinking Yamamoto and Soto are the primary two guys of the three that are listed as the primary guys on the wish list for this Yankee team. Now, you have to ask yourself, what's it going to cost? And Cody Bellinger is going to cost $200 million. The hard hit rate report that came out, maybe that hit his market a little bit, but I still think somebody's going to go out and pay for his services big. Soto is 25 years old. 25 guys. I'll kind of give you guys. It's not verbatim, but it's close enough to what Halsteimer said a couple weeks ago. We're going to get younger. You're right. We're going to get younger. That was mainly steering towards the concept of bringing up prospects. He said there's going to be some young guys in the starting lineup next year. Who are those guys aside from, for example, Anthony Volpe? Who are those youngsters that are going to be in this starting lineup? Well, next year, it's not going to be Jason Dominguez until late, if not in 2025. So you can basically rule him out of the equation. Is it going to be Oswald Peraza? It's going to be Austin Wells. Right now, I'm looking at Wells as a primary guy that's going to get called up and be a primary piece. And I'm looking at Peraza as being potentially a starter at third base, especially if we spend big at other positions. They may just want to roll with DJ LeMahieu and Peraza at third base. So Wells and Peraza could be starting prominent jobs. And Peraza at third base, you keep the costs down. Volpe still pre-arbitration. Dominguez eventually will be pre-arbitration when he's playing. You still got Gleyber Torres in his final year of arbitration at $15 million, the estimated amount. Everson Pereira, if he's not traded, could be here. The starting pitching rotation could get some support in terms of Drew Thorpe or whoever doesn't get traded if they do end up getting Soto. Now, here's the thing. And there's an argument that people will say, and you hear AJ Preller, the Padres GM, saying, we don't want to trade Soto. We want him in our lineup. He's a superstar. Like, he's a guy that can give us a chance to win a World Series. But here's the thing. We know that the Padres took a $50 million payroll loan, right, to cover expenses in September, right? Towards the end of the season, they needed $50 million to cover expenses. Do we really think that they're about to spend even more on a guy like Soto, who's going to be making, $5, $6, $7 million more than he did last year in arbitration, plus go out and get more pitching without trading for cost-efficient assets? It's BS. They have to. Whatever AJ Preller is saying, he wants to get the maximum value for a guy like Soto for one reason only, because he gave up the Padres' entire farm for the guy. He needs to get some sort of value. He's not going to bend over and take, pennies on the dollar. He needs to get something. The Yankees should be the people that give him something. The Yankees should be the people that say, here, look at all these prospects that we seemingly develop in 2 years, these pitching prospects. Remember last year in Ken Waldichuk and Hayden Wesneski were like, behind them, who's left? Who is there? Well, Drew Thorpe has turned into a top 100 prospect. Richard Fitz, Chase Hampton, Will Warren, Clayton Beater. Suddenly, we have all these pitching prospects that are extremely valuable. And that's not even to mention guys like Clark Schmidt and Michael King. So I'll tell you guys this: if you're thinking and maybe coming to the conclusion that the Padres aren't going to trade him, guys, they have no choice right now unless they find other ways to offload salary. For example, trading Manny Machado or Xander Bogaerts, which I don't think is possible because those are massive contracts. I don't think other teams are willing to take right now. I think that Soto is their most valuable piece, and ultimately he's a rental. So the question here, and he's going to make $30 million. What do the Yankees give up for a rental? We talked about this extensively. It's going to be maybe like an Everson Pereira, Clark Schmidt, or Everson Pereira. It could be a Drew Thorpe, or it could be Chase Hampton, something like that, Will Warren. There's going to be some decent pieces in that, but here's the truth. We don't know if any of those guys are going to pan out. We don't know if Clark Schmidt's going to get better. We don't know if Everson Pereira is going to be a starting level outfielder, even a depth outfielder. Look what happened to Estevan Florial. We don't know if Will Warren's going to pan out. We don't know if Drew Thorpe is going to pan out. You trade the unknown for the freaking Hall of Fame caliber player that is 25 years old in the middle of his prime, okay? You trade the unknown for that. Okay, there is no argument otherwise. That is the freaking argument. You trade the unknown for a guy who is going to be an absolute monster for 7 years as a lefty hitter in Yankee Stadium. I feel as though right now, this is exactly what the Yankees need to be doing. Trading the unknown for the proven talent. It is too often that we go out and we get injury-prone players, we get guys that are inconsistent or aging veterans, 37, 38 years old. But guys, Juan Soto has played 150 games for 3 consecutive seasons. He played every single game last year. You want to supplement the loss of Aaron Judge at times? If Anthony Rizzo gets knocked out, if guys miss time, you know who steps up? Juan freaking Soto with one of the best, if not the best, lefty bat in the freaking game aside from Shohei Ohtani. So, you tell me. You trade the unknown for the known. AJ Preller's going to have to give up at some point. He's going to have to figure out a way. If they don't offload salary, Soto's the guy that has to go. It's the logical kind of sequence of events. The Yankees will be waiting. The Yankees are going to stay patient. And that's why I don't think they should go after Bellinger, mainly because if they go after Bellinger and they waste the opportunity and they spend $200 million on a player who is going to regress to the mean, in my opinion, 1 great year in 3 seasons, I think he's going to regress. I do not think that's the right investment for us because he's going to get a long-term deal and we're going to be wondering why the hell we did that in 2 years. So, that's kind of my take. You trade the unknown for the known, and I imagine you're probably in the same boat as I am.
Alex, I'm going to go as far as to say, and this is a little bit of a bold claim, I understand, but I'm going to go the distance with this one. Alex, there is no reason for the New York Yankees, given the options currently available on the market, there's no reason for the Yankees to go out and get Cody Bellinger. None. I know people are going to sit here and say, well, it's the stupid analytics. That's why, the Yankees don't want to get Cody Bellinger. Well, every single team in baseball is utilizing that information and sitting back and saying, I'm not sure if I want to go out and trade for Cody Bellinger. There is a massive differential between his expected stats and his actual production, and he would just be the Yankees going out and I would just be the Yankees settling for the player that they've gotten every single time. Tell me if you've heard this story before. The Yankees, target a top guy, whether it's a Matt Olson or a Freddie Freeman, or maybe it is a Bryce Harper or Manny Machado, and they settle for second best. They settle for getting surplus value. They settle for extending whatever it may be. They settle for the cheaper option, and they end up, reaping what they sow. The Yankees signed LeMahieu instead of Machado. In year 1, that looked great. LeMahieu looked so much better than Machado, right? By the end of this of Machado's contract and by the end of LeMahieu's contract, one of those players are going to waltz into the Hall of Fame, and the other's going to be a pretty good player, right? Looking at the signing of, Carlos Rodon, I thought that was an attempt to try to go out and get the top guy on the market. It didn't work, but end of the day, I would rather the Yankees, die on the process of trying to go out and get the top guy every single time than go out and try to get second-tier talent. Even Rodon, there were a lot of question marks about his health. Juan Soto, there are no questions about Juan Soto. Nobody can reasonably project Juan Soto to not be good enough at baseball next year for the Yankees' expectations. Nobody can reasonably project that. And lastly, look, Cody Bellinger, I think he's going to be a good player for whatever team he signs for, but I don't think he's going to be worth that money, and it's going to take you out of the pool of being able to get Juan Soto or Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 25 and 25 years old, young superstars, franchise icons, the type of guys you associate with a franchise, the type of guys that anchor baseball in terms of marketability, the type of guys who are top 10 to top 15 in jersey sales. If you're the Yankees, you're looking at this from a baseball perspective and from a business perspective, how do you land on Cody Bellinger instead of Juan Soto or Yoshinobu Yamamoto? And both these guys intersect with each other. If you sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto, guess what? You don't care if you have to trade Clark Schmidt. You don't care if you have to trade Michael King. Throw Chase Hampton and Drew Thorpe. Who cares at that point? Because you have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who is, again, the same age as Johnny Brito, who's younger than Clark Schmidt, who's younger than Michael King, who's only 2 years older than Drew Thorpe, who is one of the most highly coveted talents we've seen internationally in a while. How many times have you heard the Yankees say, we're holding out a number for a guy who might not even give us the time of day? The Yankees didn't have a guarantee that Yoshinobu Yamamoto would interview with them, or that Yoshinobu Yamamoto would sit down and actually listen to an offer or accept an offer from the New York Yankees. Everyone's blowing smoke about the whole, Giancarlo Stanton's agent. Well, guess what? You think Giancarlo Stanton's agent's going to blow off one of his top clients in order to, satisfy a beef? Not even a beef, if you want to call it that. The New York Yankees are the premier flagship franchise of baseball. I don't care how arrogant that sounds. The Yankees are the most iconic team. The Yankees are the most successful team. The Yankees are the highest valued team. They need to act like it. They need to win a World Series. They need to be the team on the field that they are off the field, because the franchise that they are and the product on the field have not been in line with each other since 2009. 15 years ago, we talked about CC Sabathia, we talked about Alex Rodriguez, we talked about Derek Jeter, Nick Swisher, Hideki Matsui, star player, superstar player, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to sit here and settle for B-tier players. You shouldn't sit here and settle for B-tier players. And Alex, quite frankly, I wouldn't be doing our fans' due diligence if I sat here and started advocating for lesser than. We are the New York Yankees. We are fans of the team that charges us the most. I expect S-tier caliber talent. I expect the best hitter on the market to be a New York Yankee. I expect the best pitcher on the market to be a New York Yankee, because those are demands and those are the expectations you create for yourself when you charge those prices, when you call yourself the flagship franchise, when you herald yourself as this premier organization. It's time to act like it, not just off the field, but on it as well. You got to go big this offseason. Don't settle for Bellinger. Give me Yamamoto.
We'll see what happens, my friends, but I'm certainly excited to see how this kind of progresses over the next couple of weeks. So we'll be keeping you guys on the update, in the loop, as always, on a daily basis. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.